Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. This is Azeeza Jalaludeen. I'm the co-founder for Shine ADA, Shine Academia de Aedificatio in Singapore. We are so happy to be on this call with you today. And I am going to be sharing with you some simple tips on what can be holding us back from greatness. And if you're on this call with us right now, thank you so much for tuning in, because this call is probably something you have attracted in your life because you are looking for something to have a breakthrough, be it in your life, in terms of business, in terms of relationship, in terms of health, or anything else that you feel is holding you back. You know in your heart, in your soul, that you have this greatness and this deservability is waiting to shine out of you, and you do not know what's holding you back. So I would love to share with you something that, based on my personal experience as well as what I have been going through in my life, and I truly believe it'll support you. I used to be a housewife, and I'm still a beautiful housewife who is committed to the work of not just for the family, but also committed a little bit extended to the upliftment of humanity consciousness through business. And in this space, I'm looking at people that we have attracted around the world. And right now, working from Singapore, we are working with a lot of entrepreneurs in Malaysia, in India, as well as a lot of our dear network of friends from USA, from China, from New Zealand, Australia as well. So today's call is very much about identifying what would stop us from our greatness, or what would hold us back from our greatness. So many of you would have heard about going for seminars and motivation talks that just perk you up temporarily and even give you a lot of tips. So we have a lot of to-do seminars and how-to seminars around the world. And it's been a trend for people to attract people into their seminars based on how you can make more money, how you can do this and how you can do that, and how you can, and the strategies that people can use to grow themselves. What we have identified in the last 12 years, at least for myself, in walking this journey of transformation work, not only for myself, the journey I've taken from being a housewife to right now being a co-founder of an organization that is on a roadmap for listing for $100 million. It's come a long way for me, and I'm still walking that journey. And I know that we are still at the tip of the iceberg, a lot more work to do on myself. What I have recognized is the beingness that I bring to the table. And this is the word that I want Asians to be familiarized with. And it's a powerful word that we are bringing to people around the world, the beingness. Who are you being in life? That is the question that I would love to ask you. Who are you being as a human being? Who are you being as a mother? Who are you being as a father? And who are you being as an entrepreneur, as a business leader? And who are you being when it comes to supporting another human being, right? So it's not about just human doing, but human being. So here we are speaking to you about it. And if you have tuned in for this conversation or this information that you wanted to hear too, I would love you and encourage you and invite you to look at who you are being in life right now. So most of us have all of us have a lot of veils that come on us based on the experiences we go through, based on who we have been impacted by in life, who has surrounded us in our family, in our generations, in our ancestral generation. All this has molded us for who we are today, and we are very, very grateful. I am very, very grateful for whoever that has impacted me in my life to be where I am today right now and moving forward. So when you look at that, one of the things that always shows up in our life is self-doubt. It's about the doubt in us that always questions us, always makes us think, am I doing the right thing? Why is all this thing happening to me? Why am I so, this way or that way? And we have all these stories that we have in our head and our mind based on our DNA programming. Yeah? Get familiarized with the words that I'm telling you today, and you will be having a new level of consciousness the next time you are in a space of similar environment or moving forward, empowering you in your life. So again, Who are you being? And especially when just now I mentioned to you, what is it that you have embedded in your DNA? You need to understand that. When you know who you are, who you have been like influenced by, and what is the environment, what is the DNA programming done with you in your ancestral generation, you will get a better understanding of how you can take it forward. It's simple. It's like where you are right now and the journey you've walked through, that will support you to move you forward. So that is a very important thing. And that's where a lot of self-doubt has come into many people. So when we talk about self-doubt, especially among Asians, our self-doubt in the DNA, we have a lot of doubt about our own truth, on the way that we live our life and the way that we come across as human beings. And so when you look at it, why did that happen? So if you want to look a little bit deeper into that, you will recognize that when you are someone who has been in Asia for a long time, and if you have parents and grandparents who has been impacted or affected, I use the word affected, and everybody take a deep breath in. Who are we being when we have DNA generational affected by all the things that happened in Asia? So what happened? The Great Depression affected all of us in our DNA, our grandparents, our great-great-grandparents. The world wars affected a lot of us, and the way that we behaved in our Asian community and in our international community. So this has impacted a great deal in the way that we communicate, we react, and the way we function as a human being from this part of the world. So if you see some of the common traits that we have is the trait of being nice, wanting to please others so that we get what we want, or we think we will get what we want. And then there's the other part of us that is where it's all about not as expressive, not being able to say what we really want to say, that we don't want. And the one word that we use in our Accelerated Business School Millennium program is provocability. And that's something I work on myself a lot till now too. Being provocable, and it's a fine line between provocable and being harsh, telling people off on the face. It's too extreme. It's not about being hard on people. Being provocable is, again, the beingness of standing for what you believe in, and you exude that kind of energy. I'll come to that shortly. Just understanding that being provocable is something that is a big challenge for Asians and many human beings actually, but very much so for Asians, because we have been in a very submissive and submissive environment. So this has become a challenge for many people in this part of the world. So self-doubt steps in. When we are unclear about who we are, and we have all these gray areas come on us about not being expressive, not being able to express ourselves, being punished for being expressive is some of the work that we have been exposed to, that you cannot do this or you cannot do that. Rules set on us based on religion, as we see it or as we hear it, and all other perspectives around this has made us doubt ourselves. And self-doubt creates a lot of lack of trust in self, and leading to a lot of fear in every step we take. And this is very common in the way we function in our life too. So we put all of this out there. We end up having a lot of doubt about people showing up in our life, and we have a lot of doubt about trusting others. And everything that shows up in our life is about trusting others. And the other one is about, just now I mentioned, fear. Fear of losing, fear of even success for that matter. Fear shows up in every aspect of our life. So we fear and worry about the next moment. So this has become the lifestyle of many people, that at least and we have to walk this journey of reducing this self-doubt, reducing this trusting issue around self, because it's never about trusting others, it's about trusting self first. Everything I'm talking about to you today is about ourself, the beingness that exudes out with self-doubt, with lack of trust in self, with fear, is completely different from the way we exude when we are full of love, right? That's the opposite. Full of love, full of self-trust, and full of worthiness, the deservability that we exude, will come out as a very powerful mechanics. So this is the opposite that we're looking at right now. So when someone is being in that space of self-doubt, trust, lack of trust, and fear, we come across and attract people who have that in them, and they in the end put it back on us. So if we are telling that people are not trustworthy, if we are saying that people are, and we are complaining about how people are behaving, and also most importantly, we doubt anything that's showing up in our life as positive things in our life, then there's a lot about our beingness that we can shift. Right now, as I talk to you, I'm looking a lot. Do you think I don't have self-doubt? Do you think I don't have fear? Do you think I don't have any trust? I have trust issue with myself? Of course I do. And it's the way that I'm operating and the way that I am working on myself, the way that I manage in terms of when these show up in my life is the what I'm talking to you about, is the beingness. The what about the beingness? The beingness that we hold to ourselves, that when fear shows up, when doubt shows up, when trust issues show up, who are we being? And this is not just an overnight transition that we can make. It's a lot of work that we do on ourselves. And remember, we're talking about DNA programming. A lot of people should come up with life issues and complaints and why some things are happening to us. And sometimes it's never about themselves. It's about the politician. It's about the third party or anyone else showing in our life. So what we are saying is focus on the beingness. Who are we being when such things show up? For me, it has been very handy and it's been very, very powerful. And all started with a lot of self-development work and focus that I, instead of the camera facing there right now as I speak to you, every word I'm saying with intention and purpose that I'm reflecting to myself. Anything that I'm channeling right now is also a message to myself because I'm just being the instrument for this conversation with myself, and that you are hearing to it too. So when you are looking at that and when we work on self, it suddenly becomes nothing about anybody or any circumstances showing up. It's about us working on ourselves. And one of the things that has supported me a lot is on breathing techniques, conscious connected breathing. One of the beautiful mentors and teachers in my work that I'm committed to on transformation is the work of breathworks with John Stamoulis. Conscious connected breathing that takes you into your heart chakra and keeps you connected to yourself. That means it's the focus is on you, nobody else. And then when you get into this level of consciousness about self, you will also get to understand that every story that we create, or rather reactions that we get, if it's something that you don't like, we also come to the awareness that there's no such thing as positive or negative. It's just that right now as you feel it. So if you feel fear is negative to you, and so it manifests as a negative situation in your life. If you take fear as a neutral perspective that is showing up and how much you get affected by it in a way that you don't like in your consciousness, then it's time for you to work on it. So that's where we're looking at. So sometimes when people see you as like neutral, like, hey, how come this person is not reacting and is being very submissive? It's probably because they are neutral. So sometimes you can reflect on this for people to look at you as well. So are you neutral or are you reactive? It's a very positive way to look at things. Sometimes, I'm a very high I person, for those who know about high I in DISC profile. So I get very excited. So when I get excited, this is like all expressive, like right now. So when I get excited, that's an expression, right? So for some people, excitement means just acknowledging, like, yes, that's exciting. Thank you so much. So that is also like, so sometimes you need to know how to react, understand people by the way they react. And sometimes based on their conversation and the way they operate, you will also be able to work effectively with them. You need not always be that reactive person. So coming back to the beingness, that's where the anchoring of everything happens. So right now, the only one thing that can shift any beingness is the magic word, the magic 4-letter word, love. L-O-V-E, love. And that's the love that we need to give to ourselves. Being 100% compassionate, 100% loving, 100% open and receptive to nothing but love. Love for self is the ultimate. When you are able to love yourself, put 100% trust in self. And when I say self, is the divine self, the soul within. When you get aligned and when you get true and purposeful with love, that removes a lot of other perspective to things. It removes doubt, it removes trust issues, it removes fear, most of all fear, and the worry that we hold in our head about what's going to happen next. So all of this, if we are not able to come from a space of love, we start reacting. We start giving all these funny reasons and excuses and complaints about why people are behaving in a certain way. But when we come from a space of love, we actually hold that truth that everything is perfect as it is, and that we are operating as a function of the universe. And what we are able to operate as a function of the universe is about being who we are right now and focus on making it happen for ourselves and the world. So when we do that, we open our heart chakra, our channels, open our mind to a lot more learning and doing and being, right? So the action comes in naturally when we get into a motion of being. So it's not about doing to become being, but it's about being to get the doing done. So for those looking for answers on how-tos, this is something that you need to really go deeper into, especially if you are listening to this video right now. You have to take yourself to the next level. In 2016, moving on, it's all about the beingness of being with love. Tough love works for many people, but as you notice, people in the 30s and 40s nowadays come with a lot of heart and purpose. You can't use tough love with them. They will just say thank you, bye-bye, and you will never end up with any kind of community of people around you. So you need to operate from a space of self-love and clarity, and like what we said, provocability, the space of not tough love, but the stand that we take as a human being to keep being and keep being in love and purpose for self. And this, as I mentioned to you, exudes as a form of clarity for people to work with us. And it's not about the stories that we have around our health, around money, because many people think success in life, in business especially, it's about, having money to make money. People come to us for a lot of on investments. People come to us for business strategies. People come to us on coaching strategies. People come to us on how to grow their business globally. And we have offered them not just financial support, a lot of investments have been done. We have also offered them a lot of connection support, which we have done quite a lot in the last 12 years. We have also given a lot of support in terms of education when it comes to know-hows and strategies. Ultimately, when people get a hang of the understanding that it's about self and the clarity inside, that we set on a purpose, on a mission, that they all come together and then magic happens. People get clear about how finance works, and that's been my journey too. So when you look at me, as maybe I just tell you a little bit on how it has worked for me and how I'm walking this journey. So it all started, as a housewife, you don't have an income. So attending a program, getting a business idea and executing at that level supported me in getting back my investment or in the program that I started off with. In 8 hours, I made back the money. So for a housewife, make back about $1,200 in 8 hours. To me, it's a lot, right? So to me, it was a big leap in the way that I operated myself as a human being. So other than that, it also supported me to walk a journey to and how I'm living my life. What's the passion that I'm truly inspired with, and all of that. So that moved me forward to where I'm right now. In the process of the last 12 years, I've gone through challenges in health at a point in time where I couldn't function. More than 3 weeks in a month, I'm in pain and bedridden. Couldn't function as a wife, couldn't function as a business person, couldn't function as a human being. To the maximum that I'm capable of. And even last 2 years back, I was with a health condition where I was anemic and completely out of functioning for months. before I could get into action. So this has got me the clarity that, you know, the disease of the body is caused by the, sorry, I repeat that again. The disease of the body, the disease of the body is caused by the disease of the mind. So when we are able to get clear of how we are operating in our beingness, in our body, we can actually relieve ourselves from a lot of other external information. Even our body is very external from our beingness, if we understand that. It's very intrinsic that we operate from when we understand beingness. So health issue has been a huge part of my life, and during that time I also naturally fell into financial issues, and that has been a huge chunk of my clearing work, because I am standing for the upliftment of humanity consciousness through business for global prosperity, and in the mission with Indian business communities really coming together as one for collaboration and upliftment. So if my mission is so huge and big, and it's, you know, when I think about it as one Azeeza and a housewife, you know, all of that in mind, I cannot function. I cannot function when I'm in that space. When I am able to put, you know, this big mission, I am functioning at a whole new beingness. That is, so I found a whole new beingness. Then I started attracting people. And when I say, you know, even women empowerment is one part of my work. So when I start attracting people at a whole new level, it is those people that come into my life. So there were people that show up, and they still show up in my life, where they start gossiping, you know, they start telling negative things and influencing people to or against, you know, working with us. And that's also part of any business journey or any people's life journey, because people show up to tell us what we are not good at so that we can shift. So when people show up to gossip, to me is, thank you for that sharing, and I know that that part of me needs healing. That part of me needs some more clarity. So I still start working on myself on that. And as we move along, you know, I'm talking about $100 million business. So do I need to have breakthroughs in my life where I reach different milestones in financially? Yes, I do. First, I had a breakthrough for $1,000, and then it's 100,000, and then there's 1 million, and then there's 10 million, and then there's 100 million. So every level of breakthrough also is directly related to who I have functioned my mind to operate as, right? I have flowed through money, millions of dollars through me when I was in the banking sector. So I know how that deservability of me operates. So this is like, for me, is like always a next stage. So to me is to understand how I am functioning. So from a housewife to with parents who are from business, not from a business class, they are working community, and with grandparents who have been in business and failed businesses, all these make who I am. And I need to go through the deep work that I have to break through every level. And I'm committed to that because my mission is big. My mission is bigger than my ego self that wants the limelight, that wants to say that, hey, Azeeza did it. Hey, Azeeza knows it all. Azeeza needs that, you know, Azeeza needs that fame for herself. Well, that part of me has had its drama hooks taken care of very, very young before, because from 12 years old, I've been in the papers, I've been everywhere, you know, being acknowledged as someone who's doing something unique. So for me, that's part of the deal, and I still address that and become very conscious to it when that shows up. And for me, it's about the mission, and by doing that, it's no longer about me anymore. It's about we. That's how I've evolved to understand that it's our company, our team, our organization, and the awesome people that we put together and come together as a global team of mentors. Right now, as I stand with you, speaking to you, I'm looking at global mentors, leaders playing together. And I'm proud and very, very blessed and grateful to be in that platform where mentors and leaders are working together, supporting each other, knowing the shortcomings, who they are and what they are good at and what they are not, and being compassionate and forgiving. And rather than forgiving, I would use the word compassionate, and being correcting without invalidation of self and others. That's the tagline, right? We say mastery is a function of practice without invalidation of self or others, right? It's something that we are completely committed to. So a global team is what Azeeza is right now. I am no longer me, I'm a community. That's why even if you go to my Facebook page, I don't put as an author or a speaker or whatever, I put myself as a community, because that's what I stand for. I stand for a world that stands together in harmony, and also in terms of fulfilling our own vision together with the world. Every vision that every individual that comes to us in Shine, we take them as an individual with passion, with clarity, and with leadership quality. It's about them getting their greatness seen. We see greatness in everyone. So when we see greatness in everyone, it's about us coming together as one and committing to a vision bigger than self. So when we move away from the self-doubt, the fear, the trust issue within ourselves, we also will move away from the ego talk that holds us back, and the ego self that always wants that, that it's something that is just with us, and it's about us just acknowledging it and saying that thank you for being there. I know you are there. Thank you for being there. Just hold on. It's just be there. I have work to do, right? So that's where we are looking at. So if we can embrace that, this can only happen when we are in the space of love. When we are in the space of love, we open up, we do a lot of work with clarity and purpose, and it becomes cause above self. So we go through more learnings, we crave for more knowledge and know-how about the beingness, about who we are and how we can function as a better human being to maximize our human potential. So that is where the focus is for us in Shine. And every businessman who are socially conscious, who are socially responsible, will understand this language that we are speaking to you. And that is the journey of the 21st century and 2016 moving forward. If you are committed to this work about creating self-love for yourself and for the world, you know that you have come to the right place, because here we are in Shine committed to just that. For business leaders, mentors, global leaders to just come together and be in a space where there is 100% focus in making the world work 100% of the time for 100% of humanity. And anytime we are not in balance, we check on each other with love, with purpose, just staying on. We don't let people go, actually. People think that they have moved away. They still stay in connection with us in an energy field, because our heart is with every one of them. Anyone that we feel that, they feel that we have offended them in any shape, size, or form, we know that it's deep in their heart. They know that we have impacted them more than they can know physically and energetically, because that's the clarity they live their life with right now, because that's where they are meant to be at. And we know that we are in this together as one world. It's like a family, You don't end up saying no to your father or your mother or your sister. In the long run, despite of whatever happens, people just come back together as one big family. And that's what we are in the world, one big family. So no matter who we are representing right now in this world, Shine is committed to work together with every single individual. As long as they show up and they are part of the work that we do, we want you to shine inside out. We want you to shine so bright that it really allows others to shine with you. So once again, it's about love. Love is the core, the love for self, the unconditional love that you have for yourself, and the divine within is the answer to anything that we can create and succeed and achieve in life. And that itself is very self-fulfilling. With that self-love and self-purpose, you will recognize that more people show up for you to embrace your greatness with you, at the same time growing globally for global prosperity. So once again, thank you so much for being on this call. We really, really look forward to sharing more with you. We have lots of programs and activities lined up for everyone. We have free programs. We have complimentary, right? All sponsored by Shine ADA. We have free programs. We have paid programs at various levels of participation based on your affordability and your willingness to participate. So connect with us. We have programs in Singapore, in Malaysia, in India, part of Shine, and we have our accelerated business school program happening in China, in Australia, New Zealand, USA, and many other places coming up in this part of the world as well. So Indonesia, just Google and go into our website, you get full information about us, and we look forward to supporting you. We also do one-to-one mentoring and coaching sessions where you get to identify your true purpose, your beingness, at what stage you are in, and to take you to a greater height in terms of your alignment with yourself. So this is also important because when you're aligned with yourself, you can align with others, especially as a business leader, as a team leader in organization. It is very, very, very important for us to focus in our beingness. So we are committed to coaching people on that. We do one-to-one sessions. You can also write to us. I'm personally specialized in relationship mentoring and alignment coaching. And also we have others who specialize in other areas of life that we will connect you to. So we look forward to meet up with you and see you in our events through Shine, be it in Singapore, Malaysia, India, or anywhere around the world. And if you would like us to come to your city or your town, connect with us, because it's about creating socially conscious entrepreneurs and business leaders who contribute, who collaborate and contribute to global prosperity. So here's again wishing you an awesome, beautiful, and blessed 2016, where you're going to shine completely beyond your imagination. So here's wishing you a shining 2016. Lots of love. Bye-bye.